Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name's Ellis and I'll be your host for today's 1970s quiz. There's 50 questions all about the decade, so do the best you can and let us know at the end how many points you scored. Question 1. Which event led to the decolonisation of Portugal's colonies? 1973 oil crisis, Carnation Revolution or coup in El Salvador? And the answer is Carnation Revolution. Question 2. Which country gained independence from the Netherlands in 1975? Greenland, Indonesia or Suriname? And the answer is Suriname. Question 3. What caused the SS Edmund Fitzgerald to sink in 1975? A storm, the Eastern Airlines Flight 401 crashed into it, or a German submarine collided with it? And the answer is a storm. 4. In which country was email invented? Germany, the United States or England? Email was invented in the United States. Question 5. Where was the first successful in vitro fertilisation performed? England, United States or Germany? And the answer is England. Question 6. What were the Chicago 7 defendants found guilty of in the 70s? Intent to incite a riot, mass murder or drug trafficking? And the answer is intent to incite a riot. Question 7. How many people were killed in the cyclone in Bangladesh in 1970? 100,000, 500,000 or 1 million people? And the answer is 500,000. Question 8. Why did the US increase import duty taxes in 1970? To protect American jobs, to promote international trade, or to reduce inflation? And the answer is to protect American jobs. Question 9. What was the first spacecraft to successfully land on another planet and return data directly back to Earth? Venera 7, Mars Pathfinder, or Heptix Observer? And the answer is Venera 7. Question 10. Which rock festival in 1970 had the largest attendance of all time? Hello Dolly, the Isle of Wight Festival, or Woodstock? And the answer is the Isle of Wight Festival. Question 11. Who won the Grammy for Song of the Year in 1970? The Beatles, Edwin Starr, or Simon and Garfunkel? And the answer is Simon and Garfunkel. Question 12. Which country became the world's fourth space power in 1970? Japan, United States, or Soviet Union? The world's fourth space power. The answer is Japan. 13. Which US president signed the bill into law that lowered the voting age to 18? John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon, or Lyndon B. Johnson? Which US president signed the bill into law that lowered the voting age to 18? The answer is Richard Nixon. 14. Who is often referred to as the King of Pop that started his career in the 70s? Elton John, David Bowie, or Michael Jackson? And the answer is Michael Jackson. 15. Which popular TV series featured characters like Erica Kane and Adam Chandler? Days of Our Lives, All My Children, or The Odd Couple? And the answer is All My Children. Question 16. Who was the ruler of Chile after overthrowing President Salvador Allende in 1973? Haile Selassie, Augusto Pinochet, or Hafez al-Assad? And the answer is Augusto Pinochet. 17. Who is credited with the invention of LCD's liquid crystal display? Germany, England, or United States? The answer is England. Question 18. Who announced that the Beatles have disbanded? Paul McCartney, John Lennon, or George Harrison? The answer is Paul McCartney. 19. When did the Boeing 747 make its first commercial passenger trip to London? 1970, 1975, or 1979? The answer is 1970. Question 20. Which famous musicians died in 1970 due to drug overdoses? John Lennon and Edwin Starr, Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, or Simon and Garfunkel? The answer is Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. 21. Which song is famously performed by the Rolling Stones? Mr. Brightside, Jukebox Baby, or Brown Sugar? As much as we would love it to be Mr. Brightside, the answer is Brown Sugar. 22. What terrorist attack occurred in 1972? Munich Olympics attack, Provisional IRA attack, or the Pentagon attack? The answer is Munich Olympics. 23. What event marked the start of the Watergate scandal? Resignation of President Nixon, burglary of the Democratic National Committee offices, or assassination of President Nixon? It was the burglary of the Democratic National Committee offices. 24. Which country signed the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty with the United States? China, Soviet Union, or Japan? And the answer to 24 is Soviet Union. Here's question 25. Who proposed the burglary and wiretapping of the Democratic National Committee's headquarters at the Watergate complex? G. Gordon Liddy, Carl Bernstein, or Frank Wills? The answer is G. Gordon Liddy. We're halfway through now. Hope you're doing okay so far. Question 26. Which Spanish dictator died in 1975? Diego Martinez Barrio, Jose Maldonado Gonzalez, or Francisco Franco? The answer is Francisco Franco. Question 27. Which terrorist group took hostages at Balcombe Street in central London in 1975? ISIS, IRA, or Al-Qaeda? The answer is IRA. 28. Who wrote the film Rocky? Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, or Talia Shire? Who wrote the film Rocky? And the answer is Sylvester Stallone. Question 29. Which country launched the OAO-3 Copernicus satellite in 1972? United States, Soviet Union, or United Kingdom? And the answer is United States. Question 30. Where were the 11th Winter Olympics held in 1972? Sapporo, Japan, Innsbruck, Austria, or Moscow, Russia? The answer is Sapporo, Japan. 31. Which country declared a state of emergency over a 47-day miners' strike? Japan, South Africa, or United Kingdom? The answer is the United Kingdom. Question 32. Who was the president of Brazil in the early 70s? Georges Pompidou, Willy Brandt, or Emilio Medici? And the answer is Emilio Medici, or Medici. Here is question 33. Which country passed a bill in the 70s to allow pipeline construction to access oil from the North Slope of Alaska? Canada, United States, or South America? And the answer is United States. Hope you're keeping up so far. We're on to question 34 now. Which famous American landmark was opened in 1973? Mount Rushmore, Statue of Liberty, or World Trade Center? The answer is World Trade Center. 35. What important ruling did the Supreme Court of the United States make in 1973? Roe versus Wade, Mariner versus Smith, or West versus Barnes? The answer is Roe versus Wade. 36. What was the speed limit imposed in the USA in 1974 to preserve gas usage? 45 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour, or 65 miles per hour? And the answer is 55 miles per hour. Question 37. Which country invaded northern Cyprus in 1974? Turkey, Greece, or Egypt? The answer is Turkey. Question 38. Which popular film was released in 1974? The Sting, Dressed to Kill, or Love Story? The answer is The Sting. 39. Which musician released the song I Shot the Sheriff? Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, or Eric Clapton? And the answer is Eric Clapton. Question 40. Which TV programme aired in 1972 for the first time? Batman, Kung Fu, or Bewitched? And the answer is Kung Fu. Question 41. When was the Betamax video cassette recording system released? 1970, 75, or 1979? The answer is 1975. Question 42. How many men were arrested inside the Democratic National Committee's headquarters during the Watergate scandal? 2 were arrested, 5 were arrested, or 18 were arrested? The answer is 5 were arrested. 43. Which format won the videotape format war that started in the late 1970s? VHS, Betamax, or DVD? VHS, Betamax, or DVD? The answer is VHS. 44. Who directed the film Jaws? Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock, or Martin Scorsese? The answer is Steven Spielberg. 45 now. Which president was re-elected in one of the biggest landslides ever in American political history in 1972? Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, or Gerald Ford? The answer is Richard Nixon. Question 46. Which 2 countries had the first joint space flight in 1975? United States and Canada, United States and Soviet Union, or United States and China? The answer is United States and Soviet Union. 47. What was the unemployment rate in the US in 1975? 9.2%, 14.8%, or 18.9%? And the answer is 9.2%. 48. What was the cruising speed of the Concorde aircrafts that were commissioned in 1976? 1,000 miles per hour, 1,350 miles per hour, or 1,500 miles per hour? The answer is 1,350 miles per hour. 49. Who met in Moscow to negotiate arms control between the US and USSR? Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev, John F. Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev, or Richard Nixon and Soviet Premier Leonid Brezhnev? And that's the answer, Richard Nixon and Soviet Premier Leonid Brezhnev. Question 50. Who won the US presidential election in 1976? Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, or Richard Nixon? And the answer to question 50 is Jimmy Carter. Bonus question now. Who won the majority of seats in the federal elections of 1975 in Australia? Let us know the answer to that one in the comments, and let us know how many points you scored out of 50. Thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications on all of our upcoming videos. In the meantime though, there are plenty of quizzes for you to try, so hit any of these and get involved. My name's Ellis and I've been your host today. Thanks a lot for playing. We'll see you next time at Quiz Class.